volcanic island by the same name between Java and Sumatra and has been spewing ash and lava for months. The island has been emerging from the sea since the 1920s. An earlier volcano in the same place erupted in 1883. That event was described as the explosion heard around the world. 36,000 people were killed in a series of tsunamis which followed as the volcano collapsed into itself. Well, let's speak.
News that we're tracking here on CNN News 18. More than 200 people have been killed and over 700 have been left injured after a tsunami hit Indonesia's Sunda Strait. Authorities claim that the tsunami was triggered by an underwater landslide that led to a volcanic eruption. Rescue operations are still being conducted in full swing, which includes mass evacuation in the disaster-hit zone. Nearly 300 people are reportedly missing. This disaster comes months after more than 2,000 people were killed by a powerful earthquake that had struck the Sulawesi island in Indonesia.
The wave slammed into parts of Sumatra and Java. Hundreds of homes were damaged and more than 500 people are hurt. A volcanic eruption may have triggered this disaster, which caught many off guard.
It was caused by a volcanic eruption causing an underwater landslide. And Indonesian authorities are pointing to Anak Krakatau. Indonesian authorities say it has been erupting for months, but perhaps due to the fact that there was a full moon and high tide that contributed to this tsunami that flooded into these resort areas of Western Java.
58 people are now confirmed dead from Saturday's tsunami. The wave slammed into parts of Sumatra and Java. Hundreds of homes were damaged and more than 500 people are hurt. A volcanic eruption may have triggered this disaster, which caught many off guard. Now, I have to warn you, some of what you're about to see is disturbing. This dramatic video shows the very moment that a concert was cut short. And the band on stage keeps playing, unaware of the tsunami about to strike. CNN's Ivan Watson joins us now from Hong Kong. We've been seeing a lot of disturbing images. Ivan, what can you tell us?
All right. Well, we believe that the cause of the earthquake, or at least Indonesian authorities say, not the earthquake, rather, the tsunami that struck at about 9:27 p.m. on Saturday night during the Christmas holiday in Indonesia, when these beach resort areas in the western island of Java are packed with Indonesian tourists, that this was caused by a volcanic eruption causing an underwater landslide. And Indonesian authorities are pointing to Anak Krakatau. That is translated as the child of Krakatoa, the volcano that famously erupted in 1883 with almost cataclysmic results, killing tens of thousands of people and actually lowering global temperatures due to the massive ash cloud in 83. A smaller island grew up in the wake of that catastrophe, and that is what erupted on Saturday. Indonesian authorities say it has been erupting for months, but perhaps due to the fact that there was a full moon and high tide that contributed to this tsunami that flooded into these resort areas of Western Java. Now, with a death toll up to 168 people, 745 people injured, dozens of people missing, and hundreds of houses destroyed. Now, this video that you showed before, amateur video of an Indonesian band known as 17, popular with young people in Indonesia, performing at what we believe was an state electric company celebration. The singer of the band has since posted on Instagram, and we're going to translate that for you so you give a listen to one of the victims of this deadly wave. Take a listen.
I just want to say that our bass player, Bani, and our manager, Oki Wijaya, passed away. I also ask for prayers for my friend Andy, Herman, and Ujang, who is still missing at this time. Also, my dear wife is still missing. The rest of us have broken bones, minor injuries, including me, but we are fine. Please pray that we can find Andy, Herman, and Ujang, and my wife.
Cyril, the Indonesian President Joko Widodo has put out statements about this, expressing condolences, ordering emergency response teams and heavy equipment to the scene. We've spoken with a spokesperson for the International Committee of the Red Cross, who says that some of the one of the main roads to the area, and this is just about 3 hours drive west of the Indonesian capital, so a popular place for weekend and day trips, seems to have been damaged by the storm. One of the descriptions of the tsunami is that the wave might have been at a height of about 1.5 meters and could have gone as far as 500 meters inland, and thus the cause of all of this destruction and death.
Yeah, and that explains the very high death toll, which stands at 168 people killed this hour. Ivan Watson, thank you very much. We'll talk to you again. I want to talk to meteorologist Derek Van Dam now. And Derek, we heard Ivan told us about the volcano that was the cause of all this. What can you tell us?
Yeah, you know, Cyril, that sounds counterintuitive, I'm sure, to our viewers hearing that a volcano triggered a tsunami. Normally we think of tsunamis being triggered by earthquakes, by landslides, even by the shifting of tectonic plates. But this particular time, it was because of a volcano. So how can that happen? Get to the video, roll it behind me if you don't mind, please. And this is the volcano, the Krakatoa volcano. It erupted at 9:03 p.m., according to seismologists, and it was 24 minutes later that the wave struck the islands of Sumatra and into Java. Remember, a tsunami is formed by the displacement of water. So what took place here is actually a landslide underneath the surface of the water caused by this volcano that displaced the water around it and sent the wave, almost a shock wave in a sense, but a wall of water, onto the shorelines of these two islands. Get back to my graphics. I want to show you something rather interesting. This is the satellite imagery. There's the Krakatoa volcano, and that plume of almost red and orange that you see there, that is actually the eruption and the moment that it took place, 9:03 p.m. local time. It caused a lot of confusion as well because it was nighttime when the tsunami struck these areas. And of course, as we roll into the afternoon hours, local time, into Indonesia at the moment, Jakarta is at about 2:05 p.m. in the afternoon. They are getting a first sense of really the destruction caused by this. Well, we've had several hours now of daylight to actually see this, but here's a closer perspective of Krakatoa. Again, Ivan was talking about how this erupted back in 1883. It killed over 36,000 people. Here is an explanation of what happened. The volcano erupts, a landslide, almost this displacement of water has taken place because of that sediment that has given way by the seismic eruption from the volcano. And that ultimately, Cyril, caused this widespread destruction that we're seeing this morning. Now on to the search and rescue operations. That's going to be hampered by showers and thunderstorms for the next several days for the area.
Yeah, let's see what we can find out about those search and rescue operations with my...
Overnight, a tsunami believed to be triggered by a volcanic eruption hit coastal towns along Indonesia's Sunda Strait. 222 people are dead, 843 are injured, and dozens are still missing. The death toll is expected to rise. The massive wave crashed down on a group of people attending a concert on the beach and destroyed homes, cars, and buildings in the area. And it comes just days before the 14th anniversary of the 2004 tsunami in western Indonesia that killed more than 230,000 people.